Well, let's take a look at what the Wall Street Journal reported Obama's meetings coming up tomorrow with the Republicans. And it said, quote, challenged by one Republican senator over the contents of his big package, the new president, according to participants, replied, I won. Now, Congressman Gingrey, is that a way for a president to negotiate?
Well, I think that may have been a slip of the tongue, and I'm sure he regrets saying that. But quite honestly, what we had envisioned was that we were going to have all this money going to the states for infrastructure, roads, bridges, even repair our public school system. And my state of Georgia was excited about that. In fact, we submitted a list of spade-ready, shovel-ready projects, and now all of a sudden we find out that, 3% of the money is going to that. And so much of it, and that's where I disagree with my good friend Robert Wexler from Florida, that it's not balanced. I mean, we're throwing away, gosh, I think there's $200 million in there for family planning and contraceptives. Now, indeed, that may stimulate something, but I don't think it's going to stimulate the economy.
Yeah. Well, Congressman Wexler, why isn't it just what we thought it was going to be? Infrastructure, roads, bridges, stuff that everybody agrees on needs to be fixed and creates real jobs for real people that pay decent salaries. Why don't we spend all the money on that stuff that people can see rather than all these odds and ends and cats and dogs? I mean, the bill has so much stuff in it, you think it's just the shopping list of the Democratic Party. That's what it looks like.
No.
Everybody who wants something has something in here.
No, what the Obama administration is arguing, and I believe they're correct, is that 3/4 of the money spent in this stimulus package will be out into the economy in 18 months. And I realize it's easy to find one item or this item, but even let's talk about that family planning. Family planning saves, if done correctly, an enormous sum of money down the road in the healthcare system. But back to your original point, most of the money goes to building roads, bridges, infrastructure projects, like my friend Mr. Gingrey says, as the states will have designed them, as local governments as well will have designated them. Also in terms of building schools, we desperately need to upgrade our education systems. We have enormous amount of resources devoted towards construction projects and public education, as we do in terms of alternative energy sources. We are going to invest enormous sums of money in creating green jobs, which have the benefit of employment increases, as well as relieving our dependence on foreign oil. This is exactly what the country needs, combined with $300 billion plus of tax cuts, which affect 95% positively of the American family base.
I don't know. It sounds a little like China. Congressman Gingrey, I think everybody should have family planning. Everybody believes in birth control as a right. I'm for abortion as a right and all that. It's all right. But why should the federal government have a policy of reducing the number of births? I don't know why the federal government has an interest in that. They have an interest in freedom and people making choices. But I just heard a case made by Congressman Wexler that it was in the national interest we have fewer kids. I don't understand that.
No, Chris, I did not say that.
What
did you mean by that? What did you mean by that? Why is it an economic stimulus? Why are we talking about family planning as an economic stimulus program?
Yeah, I don't think we should be. I clearly don't think we should be. And I probably have already said enough about that one. My wife will be on me about my comments in regard to that.
No, I understand. Look, I'm for family planning. I'm for all this. I just don't think it's an economic stimulus plan.
No, of course not.
These decisions should be family decisions, not federal decisions. What do you say, Congressman Wexler? Why is family planning an economic stimulus element?
Chris, you are right. Family planning is a personal choice. And in order to make personal choices, people need to have both education and resources. And when they lack that education or know-how or resources, in effect, then their choice is negated. And in terms from an economic analysis, to give people choices that in some instances based on personal choice will reduce health care costs in the future, that of course then reduces the burden on federal taxpayers. This is not a new concept. This is what we run the government on. If we can reduce Medicaid expenditures by giving people more knowledge and choice and resources, I think most people, regardless of their ideology, will say that's a good economic decision.
Chris, I've heard Robert Wexler's explanation. I've heard Nancy Pelosi's, and I still don't understand it. But I tell you, some of the money
I think we're apples and oranges here. I think economic development and economic opportunity and freedom are two separate issues. But we'll talk about them later. This is the kind of philosophical argument we have on this show. Thank you, Robert Wexler. Thank you, Congressman Gingrey.